Savior on behalf of the church and protecting the perpetrator over the minor kid.
Muhlenberg was convicted in 2018 of molesting two of the boys, but the verdict was overturned. She observed misconduct. Since then, two more alleged victims came forward. Muhlenberg is awaiting retrial. I'm Emily Dowsett, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
You're respected. That gives you the ability to have power. You have power.
Big U was prominently featured as one of the kingmakers in an FX show, Hip Hop Uncovered, the music power gripper Eugene Henley Jr. Due in federal court in downtown L.A. later this morning after being accused of running a mafia-like criminal enterprise here in L.A. He surrendered last month in connection with a 43-count federal indictment, which also linked him to the killing of an aspiring rapper in Las Vegas. If convicted as charged, Henley could earn a prison sentence of hundreds of years. His son is a linebacker for the Chargers.
There's a fight over some new housing in Corona.
You're overpopulating our little area here. You're not building to our neighborhood. You're building way too high.
One of the locals there talking to KCAL News, she started a petition to try to stop this so-called build-to-rent development out of the neighborhood. Started as a plan for 19 homes, but that got doubled after the developer was allowed to add on ADUs behind the homes. Corona Councilman Tom Richens says their hands are tied.
Yeah, the dream of home ownership is fading, and corporations are taking over.
He says under the new state laws, developers act like they're building affordable housing when really the housing rents for a monthly price are comparable to a mortgage payment. Developer issuing a statement saying they believe everyone deserves access to housing that they can afford in communities where they live and work. The home's expected to rent in the mid to high 3,000.
There is a warning to stay away from Poodle Dogbush when hiking in the Angeles National Forest. Take a look at that.
Well, it's you.
Yeah, it has like a little, it kind of looks like a poodle head. That's where it's adjusted from. Yeah, you gotta go look at it. Apparently it can cause a nasty rash. You're staring at it.
It's a native plant that can grow up to 10 feet tall. The National Forest Data Dirk says it normally springs up after wildfires.
It has purple flowers, and it is a beautiful plant, and that's what fools people.
Pretty, but very irritating when touched.
There actually are hairs on them that are irritating, somewhat like, like fiberglass. There's literally a glandular goo that can also stick around, literally, so kind of like urushiol and poison ivy or poison oak. And so even if you're not careful with how you handle your clothes afterwards, after you go out for a hike, you could sit down on a chair and leave some of the extra goo. And depending upon who sits on it, what they sit on it with, somebody else might get a case of the rash from poodle dogbush, even though they're nowhere near poodle dogbush.
She says you can encounter the plant on trails near the recent burn area or on trails that burned in previous fires. It sticks around for years until other plants cause it to fade away. I'm Karen Adams, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
She had me a glandular goo.
Don't leave the goo on the bench for somebody else.
Watch out, people, for the Poodle Dogbush. Everybody today is going to be a big search, right? Poodle Dogbush. 611, at least.
Experience the native music and hope to fight homelessness.
Tickets go on sale this Wednesday at noon in the evening. That's
Welcome back to That Genius, where we meet the mind behind mind-blowing inventions. I'm here with Aaron from California Deluxe Windows. They offer swing to clean windows. Sounds genius! Aaron, enlighten us.
California Deluxe Windows. Swing to clean windows. Slide open like the regular windows. And swing open so you can clean the outside from the inside.
Clever wordplay. Clean the outside from the inside.
We also custom fit every window and door to your own exact measurement. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stuff. Your house could be covered with mosquito. We wouldn't crack it. What?
Custom fit, no broken stucco. Okay, code tip. Now that's genius. Right now, get 30% off your entire order of custom fit windows. Genius. Call California Deluxe Windows. 800-928-4100. 800-928-4100. That's 800-928-4100. At IHOP, you can get a satisfying, craveable breakfast for only $7 with IHOP's House Faves. Enjoy fluffy buttermilk pancakes, your choice of hickory smoked bacon or pork sausage, and eggs your way with the Breakfast Faves combo. Or enjoy a savory ham and cheese omelet, French toast breakfast, or house scramble, all for just $7 each. Stop by today and try any of IHOP's House Faves. Available weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., all for just $7. For a limited time, dine-in only. Price and participation may vary by location.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month, a savings of nearly $300 a year.
Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. In a hurry? Don't worry. With SelectQuote, you can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable same-day coverage with no medical exam.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-637-9116. That's 1-800-637-9116. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-637-9116.
Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
This is the story of the ones. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can make wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Mia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double, can't you?
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/crypto.
Good morning, I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Coming up on KNX News 97.1 FM, we're talking about money again this morning. Not just the stock market, but the Mega Millions. If you want to buy a ticket, price has gone up.
Traffic now, 6:15, brought to you by Mostly Wealth Management. Susie Jessup.
You either really heavy and slow ride as you make your way towards Dodger Stadium and Elysian Park on that northbound side of the 5. We have a 4-car collision, it looks like, blocking the center divider and the left lane. And wow, traffic is backed up really quickly in Boyle Heights from the East LA interchange as you make your way on that northbound side of the 5. And they're calling it the 110. I think it's a little bit past the 110 because, and just try to stick to the right. There might be times where CHP is closing all lanes to try and clear this. But again, center divider, left lane, if you're stuck in this, stick to the right. It looks like right past the 110. Once you pass the 110, though, there's decent speeds as you make your way in towards Atwater Village and as you're continuing on towards Burbank. Also, Mario, the cab driver, checked in. He was driving on the northbound side of the 405 right at Washington Boulevard. He said there's a stalled car in the carpool lane, also a tow truck right behind it. He said it's kind of a steady slowdown coming away from LAX, and I am seeing that, Mario, on northbound side of the 405 from the 105 to about Washington, and it does open up heading into the Spalding Pass. Wow, PCH is just slammed right now from the California Incline to Chautauqua, where they're doing that first checkpoint with the National Guard. And Sabina has a peek at your ride on the 91 as you make your way into Orange County with the Southern California Toyota Dealers Instant iView. Good morning, Sabina.
And good morning, Susie. On the westbound side of the 91, past McKinley to the 15, it is packed. It'll stay very slow all the way through to Green River. That crash did clear to the right side, but just got a call from Del Rio about a new crash on the westbound side of the 91 at Kramer LaSalle. Looks like middle lanes are blocked off, so that's between the 55 and 57, and that's starting to slow up.
What a huge retirement funds from market losses was still achieving market gains. Let Mosey Wealth Management show you the way. Call 888-930-5609 to find out more. That's 888-930-5609. SoCal's on reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
We are gearing up for some really hot temperatures over the course of the next several days. Today's the day where we begin to see temperatures slowly warming up as high pressure builds in, but that high pressure strengthens. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are expected to be the hottest days of the week, especially especially for a lot of our inland communities where next weather alerts have been issued. The temperatures will go from mid-80s for the valleys and the Inland Empire today, and then starting tomorrow through the end of the week, low 90s. Upper 70s for LA and Orange County with mid to low 80s for the rest of the week. Upper 60s today for the beaches with mid to low 70s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. High deserts, low 80s today, upper 80s tomorrow, 90s by Thursday. Mountains, upper 60s with mid to low 70s for the second half of the week. The good news is that things are cooling down just in time for Saturday and Sunday. And that's your next weather forecast. I'm KCAL News meteorologist Amber Lee for KMX News 97.1 FM.
How is your money, Wayland? Still haven't looked. I can't.
Mattress. I bought gold bars 2 weeks ago.
Did you buy them? I should.
Yeah,
Should have shoved everything in the
my
mattress.
fallout shelter downstairs.
Hey, change it.
Like the cans of baked beans.
You can't open it. Changes for the Mega Millions this evening's drawing. Ticket prices have gone up from $2 to $5 just when we don't have the money. The price is going up like everything else. We talked about it with Jonathan Cohen. He is the author of the book For a Dollar and Dream State Lotteries in Modern America.
In addition to changing the cost of the ticket, which is of course what everyone is going to pay the most attention to, the prize structure, the odds of winning changed ever so slightly. They're talking up that it's easier to win. I don't know if there's much of a difference between 1 in 302 million and 1 in 290 million.
Yeah, so supposedly the increase in ticket prices will lead to bigger jackpots.
Starting prize is going to be more, in 2018 they lowered it from 40 to 20, now it's back up to 50 million. But this is not about the small prizes. This is a change that they're making about the big prizes. And because more money gets put into the pot every time, it increases the odds that the jackpot is at some point going to hit $1 billion. And that is what has been driving Mega Millions and Powerball sales, for the last few years, are these $1 billion jackpots. And Mega Millions seems to be counting on that's going to happen more often. And so we're going to see lots of people excited. And even though the ticket's more expensive, once it hits the $1 billion jackpot, everybody wants one. And if we can generate more of those excitement periods, we can sell more tickets.
He says Mega Millions will be taking a gamble if the $1 billion jackpot becomes more common.
They're sort of risking it. It's a lottery, so of course they're willing to take risks. But they're risking a lot on this idea that every time they hit $1 billion, they're going to get a lot of attention and a lot of media fanfare, and they're going to generate more sales. But what's going to happen when $1 billion becomes really routine and it starts happening all the time? I think that's the long-term question facing this decision, and I wonder if the sort of short-term benefit from the new tickets might be outweighed by the fact that all of a sudden it's going to take $2 billion to get people excited, or $3 billion, which is an insane amount of money. But people get really used to big dollar jackpots and they want more each time.
I was talking to Margaret the other day. She said she got 4 numbers and she's manifesting now.
Yeah,
Full
the
jackpot.
rest of it. Yeah, well, you only buy just over $1 billion over there.
Yeah, because I want that big jackpot.
I'm still sticking with my plan, which is just the old-fashioned Super Lotto.
Oh, okay.
Because I only really need like 6 to 15 million at any given time.
This.
I'm not greedy.
No.
I don't need the rest of it.
620.
Wall Street is healing it today. At least we hope it will after the open. But futures are up. Let's go to Kimberly Adams.
Absolutely. Let's look at it that way, right? The Band-Aid has been pulled off. U.S. stock futures are soaring after the biggest 3-day rout in 5 years. Global markets appear to be back on track after heavy selling triggered by the president's tariff announcement. Japan stocks moved higher overnight, and European shares are rebounding after the worst 3-day decline in 5 years. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says Trump's administration will be holding talks with all America's trading partners, and he's hoping tariff rates will come down. He also said everything will be on the table. Consumers cut back on their borrowing in February. The Fed says total credit declined for the first time in 3 months. People paid down some credit card balances and took out fewer non-revolving loans for things like education and cars. And women are helping to reshape the sports nutrition business, and they're becoming an increasingly important customer segment. There is strong demand for protein shakes for women who use weight loss drugs, and more recently, some who care more about strength and well-being than just thinness. Futures right now, they are in the green, as we mentioned. I would say you go girl with that, but my nieces and nephews tell me it's too old school, and that saying is out. So whatever, I'm happy for it. Anyway, I think you go. Yeah, you go. You go. I'm Bloomberg's Kimberly Adams in the Paris Starl Between Money. That's okay. That's 97.1 FM.
when you're stuck in LA traffic.
We get it. You just need to know why.
Every time I call in and I ask a question about a certain roadway, you guys answer it in your next traffic report. You guys are freaking awesome. I love you. Thank you.
Tell us where you're stuck and what you see at 844-KNX News.
Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Your 15-minute drive-through oil change.
KNX News 97.1 FS wishes to see the Barrister Suite a happy 35th anniversary.
Barrister Suite has been SoCal's provider for individual office space, virtual business listing, and meeting rooms since 1990. Celebrate Barrister's 35th anniversary with a KNX exclusive offer. Get your first month for just $35 when you mention this ad. Call 310-258-8088 or visit barrister-suite.com today. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're constructing a new home or ADU, build with disaster safety in mind. These days, we see so many catastrophes every year due to weather. From fires to floods, quakes to hurricanes. It's time we all build new with SAD's building system from Taj Innovations. This is a revolutionary way to build, using foam panel technology with structural coatings. No more building houses that can burn up. SABS is fire-resistant, waterproof, mold-proof, termite-proof, and can handle quakes of a 9.0 magnitude. SABS is ICC approved in all 50 states too. SABS building system also cuts building costs by 15 to 30% and will knock your cooling bills down by up to 30%. It's time to meet the highest standard of safety and performance with SABS building system from Taj Innovations. Visit TajInnovations.com now for your free brochure. That's TAJinnovations.com. Licensed contractors needed.
Need an accident attorney by your side. All you got to do is call the accident guy. There's a man with cancer. He was given, can you imagine, less than a year and a half to live, and he has found new inspiration. Our Margaret Guerrero talked to him, and it just worked. And he is now on a mission to volunteer in all 50 states. What has it been like for you doing this, being out there, and from the depths of your heart, just offering up your time and your energy to help other people? What has it done for you?
It has been better than I could possibly imagine. I overbooked myself, extended myself for the first 2 weeks of the course, but I really wanted to get off to a fast start. So, if I had 5 or 6 days where I had a 3 or 4 hour mission, and then I had a 3 to 5 hour drive after the mission, after the volunteer mission. And so I've been going hard. Today is the first day I didn't have at least a 3 hour drive since March 28th. So yeah, I've been going hard, but you know what? That my energy is coming from these volunteer missions. I'm loving meeting the people. I'm loving helping the people. On days where I have a volunteer mission, I am shot out of a cannon in the morning. On days when I don't have a volunteer mission, I can feel it. I don't have the energy. I'm tired. Some of the symptoms that I have with this cancer is I am tired. I'm achy. I have been in pain all day, but I've been ignoring it. And it's a lot easier to ignore it when I'm helping people, and I can put my mind on other things. So it has been a blessing, and I'm going to do it until I can't do it anymore.
It really speaks to the power of purpose.
Yep.
Doug has already been to 9 states, and his next stop is Seattle and Washington State. 625.
Traffic brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group Accident Injury Attorney Susan Jessup.
It's a terrible ride. You're making your way into Legion Park for that northbound side of the 5. Really jammed up. We have a 4-car collision, and this is clearing outer lanes and over to the right shoulder, but that has really made a mess of your ride. From the 710, it is jam-packed on that northbound side of the 5 to just past the 110. Once you pass the 110, there's good speeds as you make your way past the 2 and in towards Atwater Village. Now, we had a wreck involving a motorcyclist blocking the right lane, westbound side of the 10 at Los Angeles, right before the 110 freeway. That did clear, but still heavy and slow right now from the East LA interchange to about Los Angeles, opens up, and they're slowing again with lanes open and clear from Vermont as you make your way to about La Cienega. We'd ask what you ride on the 605 to Pico Rivera with your Southern California Toyota dealers, Instant Eye View.
Yeah, if you're trying to head northbound right at Peck Road, somebody dropped 3 to 5 ladders on the freeway, and then it caused a crash. The cars were stuck in the carpool lane. They are being moved to the right side, but CHP is going to have to stop traffic to move those ladders or the broken pieces. The backup is heavy from Beverly. Also, a big crash on the West 91 at Kramer LaSalle, leaving the 55 is going to be a tough ride. Near the northbound side of the 405 at Washington Boulevard in Culver City, we did have a stalled car that was blocking the fast lane. CHP did run a traffic brake to clear it. There's still some residual slowing. It's just kind of a slowdown from the 105. Not terrible right now. And I did see a new problem for that northbound side of the 405 right at Santa Monica Boulevard. That is a stalled car, and it looks like they're going to run a traffic brake right now from Olympic. If you've had an injury, accident, slip and fall, or been victimized by an assault, the injury help you need is just a text away. Text injury help to 40222. Downtown LA Law Group is California's top injury law firm. Text injury help to 40222 or Google calldowntown.com for a free case review. Look out for reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s for Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Attorney advertising. This is a legal alert for victims of the Eaton fire. If your family suffered injury or property damage at your home or business due to the Eaton fire, you may have a claim for damages from SCE, and Robin Cloud is here to help. Early reports suggest that Southern California Edison Transmission Tower may have played a role in the cause of the fire. It is important to understand your rights against SCE and how to secure compensation from your insurance carrier. Robin Cloud, with a 30-year track record of winning even the most difficult cases, will be hosting a free informational workshop at the Hilton Pasadena on Tuesday, April 8th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. From the fire attorneys at Robin Cloud, you will learn how to protect your rights against all parties responsible. Join Robin Cloud on Tuesday, April 8th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Hilton Pasadena. Robin Cloud LLP is a California-based law firm.
So, you want to buy a house? You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get cash. Back to the drawing board, more scheduling, more viewing, more... This doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos, then comes the offer. Stretch, yep, make that free. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone, because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Hi, Doctor.
Dr. Practice growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sit through hundreds of resumes.
I need a team.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 for your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, it finally happened. After 2 years of rising mortgage rates, they're finally coming down. Thanks to 3 recent rate cuts and some special deals I've arranged with my investors, I'm now funding mortgages in the 6s and in some cases into the 5s. Hi, it's Tanya King, your self-employed mortgage specialist at Right Choice Mortgage. I specialize in mortgages for the self-employed and 99 workers, as well as investment properties, bank statement loans, and custom-placed mortgages. Whether you're a perfect borrower or not so perfect, I can help. Call me, Tanya, 855-979-FUN. If you've maxed out those high interest rate credit cards or your HELOC, it might just make sense to consolidate your debt into one lower monthly payment. Let me look at the whole picture, crunch the numbers, and give you the info you need to make the right choice. 855-979-FUN. Let's get you the cash you need. I answer my own calls. 855-979-FUN. 855-979-FUN. 855-979-3863.
Give DowneyHyundai.com a try. New or used, they guarantee to satisfy.
Downtown LA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is LA's Morning News.
On CNX News, 97.1 FM.
Good morning, 6:30. Mike Simpson.
And I'm Vicki Moore. We are actually in the green at the market open, and it has to do with Japan and possible talks about these tariffs, and could that lead to progress with other nations? China, though, is accusing the U.S. of blackmail and promises to fight till the end, after the president threatened an additional 50% tariff starting tomorrow. Chris Beecham is the chief market analyst for IG Capital in London.
Trump ramped this up to a new level, and you can expect China to respond, of course. And I think that has major implications for how the global economy has been shaped over the last 20 years. That will mean there will be painful adjustments and more volatility and a hit to growth.
The Treasury Secretary on CNBC this morning says that China has a losing hand.
I think it was a big mistake, this Chinese escalation, because they're playing with the pair too. We are the deficit country. So what do we lose by the Chinese raising tariffs on us? We export 1/5 to them of what they export to us. So that is a losing hand for them.
CBS News correspondent Nancy Cordes says countries around the world are trying to cut a deal.
White House officials say they have already been approached by more than 50 countries looking to cut deals to avoid these tariffs. But so far, President Trump hasn't accepted any of the offers he's received, leaving some world leaders to wonder what exactly it will take to get him to say yes.
So yeah, we've got green this morning. We'll take this bounce. The Dow up at the open more than 1,200 points. The Nasdaq up 558. The S&P up 166. All more than 3% ahead this morning.
One thing China could do as part of a trade war is start saying no to Hollywood. Bloomberg reports that a couple journalists posted a potential list of retaliatory moves on their social accounts in China. Possible cuts could be a reduction or ban on big blockbuster films. Also on the table, higher tariffs on farm goods like soy and banning poultry and suspending cooperation with us on the fentanyl-related issues. Ban on Hollywood movies could be a big blow to studios. China, the second biggest movie market in the world.
A lot of people continue to worry about their retirement funds.
Financial experts like Greg McBride of Bankrate say it's when you start selling stocks in a downturn at depressed prices that you increase the risk of burning through your nest egg more quickly.
The best days in the market often come on the heels of the worst days in the market. So you've got to be in it to win it. Nobody rings a bell and tells you when the market's going to turn around. You don't want to be standing on the platform when that train pulls out of the station. So it's really important to stick to your plan. Don't let short-term volatility, as violent as it's been, distract you from your longer-term objectives.
The stock market will always have its ups and downs, but experts like McBride say the key to managing a 401k is staying focused on your long-term goals. I'm Chris Seaton, KNX News 97.1 FM.
Let's talk insurance. Do you have it? Can you get it? Can you afford it? State Farm asking for another rate increase. Department of Insurance having a hearing today. More live from John Baird.
State Farm is asking for a 22% rate increase on average for homeowners, plus a 15% increase for condo owners and a 38% increase for rent properties. We're talking about nearly $1 billion overall. Harvey Rosenfield, the founder of Consumer Watchdog, says State Farm hasn't proven that this rate increase is necessary, but in the meantime, consumers are stuck holding the bag.
The people of California are struggling to find insurance. These companies, many companies led by State Farm, have been canceling coverage, and now they're asking for a $900 million rate increase, not to cover the claims that they can show they have to pay right now. They've got the money to do that. They just want to improve their financial condition at our expense, but with no promise that they continue to sell insurance in the state.
Well, if the increase is approved, that could translate into an extra $600 a year for homeowners, according to Consumer Watchdog. Now, an official for the Department of Insurance says no decision will be made at the hearing today. An administrative law judge will hear from all sides and make a recommendation, and then the insurance commissioner will make a final decision.
Democratic Senator Adam Schiff pitching a tax credit for families to harden their homes, protect their homes from wildfires and natural disasters. This is his first bill, and he's doing it with a Republican senator from Montana. If ultimately approved, it could cover up to half the cost for upgrades like fire-resistant roofs. 6:35.
Traffic now, Susie Jessup, Downey Hyundai Traffic Center.
Yeah, there are